Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm so pleased to make this video based on the article that I found, and the reason why is because I've been talking about this since the Azov regiment, or part of the Azov regiment, surrendered to the Russians in Azovstal in Mariupol, if you remember that one. But they didn't surrender, they came out. Okay, that's the euphemism used by the Ukrainians. So if you remember, it was a guy over there in charge of everything. His name is Volnya, I think it was, because we're going to talk about this Volnya. He was the leader of those guys who surrendered over there, I think, and he is a prisoner in the Russian Federation. I think he is right now in Moscow in a special detention center where he is helped to talk a little bit. And as I said many times before, these guys will be asked questions. They will say everything they know and everything they didn't know they knew, if you know what I mean. They will be then videotaped. They will sign declarations and all that, statements. Everything is going to go like that. And then whenever the Russians need them, they're going to take them, put them in front of the camera, and they will say, "Oh my God, let me comment on this one." That's how the things work, and that's exactly what's happening right now. As you remembered, it was that explosion. I don't know who did it. The Russians said that it was the Ukrainians. Ukrainians said it was the Russians. You know, the Olevnika detention center, where about 57 or 53 Ukrainian prisoners, Azov regiment people died, and then you had about 75 injured and 13 guards also hurt. We have this article from Ukrainska Pravda. Occupiers from today. Occupiers record video of Volnya after Ukrainian defenders killed in Olevnika. So they got this guy come over here, shave a little bit, look nice, give him some clothes, some clean clothes, and show up and tell them what we want you to tell them. And here we have this gentleman right here. Clean shave, nice, right there. And he's gonna have an interview. Young guy, unfortunately. All right, had to sneeze. Sorry, too much. You know what I mean? Just kidding. So we have here, after the killing of Ukrainian prisoners of war in Olevnika, Russian occupiers forced the commander of the 36th Separate Marine Brigade, Major Serhii Volynskyi, who is also prisoners of the Russian Federation, to comment on the tragedy. How do you know they forced him? Maybe he just says, "I want to say something. I want to say something." I'm pretty sure he was grabbed and, you know, put in front of the cameras. The source is a video shared by propaganda resources. In his response to the occupiers' manipulative questions, Volnya hints that the Russian occupiers killed Ukrainian fighters in order to influence the psyche of the morale of the captured defenders. Did you hear that? So in his response to the occupiers' manipulative questions, Volnya hints that the Russian occupiers killed the Ukrainian fighters in order to influence the psyche. Now, I do not get that. You don't put this guy right there and you let them say that, and then and then I'm quoting. But let's say what these guys are saying, right? A very terrible tragedy happened. From our barracks, we could see a yellow light, an explosion. We heard screams. The situation is terrible. It is very difficult to find words to describe it. I thought this guy is in Moscow. I think the situation will affect the psyche of the people who are in captivity and the people who may be captured. There will be fear among those who were part of the events and among their relatives and friends. Now, our family and friends are very worried about what has happened. It is still not known for sure who died. Everyone is in shock. No one can find an explanation. Everyone is mourning. There is silence in the barracks. A big disaster has happened. People have been through hell. To put it bluntly, everyone is waiting at home for the long-awaited freedom, and such a tragedy occurs right at the finish line. End quote. Well, and it says, he specifically asked a Ukrainian military officer why Ukrainian defenders have been killed, Volnya replied that he did not understand why people who were waiting for an exchange had been killed. It is noteworthy that the propagandist filmed so the head of the Ukrainian soldier is seen on the video. Okay, what would that be? And now he says what happened in July 29th, the explosion, the bombing. Ukrainians say, no, you did it. Iran says, no, we did it. All right, but I thought this guy was actually in Moscow with the other leaders of the Azov regiment or battalion. So I didn't hear anything here stating what they said here, that he's hinting. He hints that the Russians occupier killed Ukrainian fighters in order to influence the psyche. He didn't hint that. He said that the action, the fact, right? It says the situation. Okay, I think the situation. There will be fear among those who were part of the events. You know, I think the situation will affect the psyche of the people who are in captivity and the people who may be captured. That's correct. And it doesn't know. It is still unknown for sure who died. It doesn't say here anything about who did it. There was not even in his commentary. So you can say, oh yeah, I did that. So whenever they just try to spin things, but it didn't, from what they commented. Be certain that if they would have the evidence that this guy really said that, it's not about hinting. I mean, hinting is like, well, maybe you get the hint, but I'm so stupid I don't get it. That's what they're telling me right now. Hey, you see, that was the proof. That's the hint. And I say, that's not a hint. It's not that that's not a hint because you want to spin the story. It's because I am below 86 and I can't figure it out. That's what the thing goes. But you read that article by yourself, and if you find that he hinted that it was the Russians, or you tell me, I'm captured, yeah, I can be killed right now as Che Guevara was killed, correct? A guy came over there and shot him, bam, and that's it. And what happened to that guy? I think he lived a long life in the United States of America, didn't he? The guy who shot Che Guevara. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just saying, so he knows something like this could happen, or simply another bomb or rocket could fall on his head. So I don't think he would say, you know what, I think these guys around me are the guys, and then bang, 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 say it again, what? So in this recording, it was not live, so he can say it, and whatever he said is gone, you can't stop it. That was recorded, pre-recorded, or edited if necessary, and he knew exactly what he was supposed to say. I mean, the guys were around him, what do you think? In captivity. Do you think he would have, I mean, he didn't look any, bruised or anything, black eye or something, but it's, well, and he was not shown from here that what, was in a wheelchair or something, or a Zimmer frame, or what? What did he expect? Or had a beer belly? What was the point of it? He was not shown. Oh, so you want to show us that he's still alive and unhurt? That's why they showed him here, because from here he was just machines keeping him alive. Probably that's the hint we don't get. Anyway, it's good that the guy is alive. I'm glad. And as I said, I'm surprised he's over there and not in Moscow. As they said, it transferred a lot of leaders of the Azov regiment. I think Volnya was one of them. But I guess he was a bottom feeder after all, even though they talked about him like being the, I don't know, second coming of Jesus Christ. But so this is the guy, the first guy put forth for us to see that everything is okay and is this and that. I don't know why the Russians did it. If I would be in the Russian team, I would have made a video a little bit more direct, if you know what I mean, and I would point fingers and say that and that. It's not hard to make them. I mean, your life is it's not hard to make someone say anything in under those circumstances. So that tells me that maybe his conditions are not as bad as they say it is, because the guy was not really pointing fingers. Hey, it was the Ukrainians. Yeah, we saw the rocket coming. You can make him do that. You could have made him, well, actually, I was looking at the flowers down the window outside, and then all of a sudden I saw a rocket, and on it was the Ukrainian flag, and boom. I mean, you can make this guy say that thing if you want. It's very easy. But they didn't. So why not? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.